The Stratford player jumped up.
We've got a free kick for Stratford here.
It seems he was checked, one might say.
I see. Well, just now officially less than a minute left on the scoreboard before we go into the half.
And, you know, being checked, it requires at least 60% contact from a sport. And this is, after all, a 10% contact sport.
Mathematically speaking, of course.
Of course. By the sports of math.
All right, 36 seconds left on the clock. We're looking for something exciting here to send us into the half. Stratford. Nope, sorry. Brentwood sending it out of bounds. 26 seconds left.
And they're going to have to hurry if they want to string something together.
Hey, you know what? We got to give a shout-out to the guy shagging the soccer balls over here. One goes way too far out of bounds. He's already ready. Throw one in there. Keep the game rolling. Because as you see, the clock doesn't stop.
Indeed, it doesn't. And there is...
Not very often, at least.
You know, with 10 seconds left.
7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds, and they're going to look to send this one over.
I don't think it'll happen, Mr. Crow.
Unfortunately not. There goes the horn. We're going to see this game into the next half. Got it tied up 1-1 here at James C. Parker Stadium.
Indeed.
Brentwood versus Stratford. We'll see you back here after the half. And welcome back at the second half. Ladies and gentlemen, I know I mentioned that we may have a special guest joining us and that it may be Dr. David Moody. Unfortunately, we were not able to track him down, but...
Hang on. He might be coming later.
Oh, interesting. But for right now, we have to introduce former future intern.
Former WBHS 9, two-time future intern.
Two-time future intern, one-time intern.
Yeah, that's correct.
Flew down from Miami University just like 5 minutes ago. Hopped on a jet.
Yep.
Hopped over here.
Miami, Ohio.
Ladies and gentlemen,
remind you.
May I introduce Mr. Samuel Dillard.
Hey, how's it going? It's great to be back in the booth, boys. I'll tell you what. You know, last year I peaked in high school, and I'm back on the peak. Let's get going.
Fantastic.
Return to that peak, baby.
We're coming in.
Well, Brentwood High School soccer is definitely hoping to return to this peak. We're tied up here at the start of the second half, 1-1. Sam, what we've been seeing a lot this first half is that Brentwood started off pretty strong. Within the first 10 minutes, they scored that goal. And then 20 minutes later, after some defensive struggles, Stratford finally put it in the other goal. And after that first goal, Brentwood has just been kind of asleep offensive-wise.
Well, time to wake up.
Indeed.
You know, we got 39 minutes, 49 seconds on the clock. Score's 1-1. Let's make it happen.
All right, we've got Brentwood in possession right now. Number 23, Austin Moore. Christian Nelson, number 14, looking to take over control.
Oh, and we see number 16. He had some wheels on his feet. He was absolutely zooming.
Almost like he had Heelys.
Wouldn't that have been fun?
Hold on, we got Stratford going for the goal. Oh,
Stratford going for the goal.
Brentwood just barely, the goalie just grabbed it.
Should mention after thoughts that perhaps we'd see Jake Severino in the goal for this second half. We do have number 31, Cade Preventure, back in the goal.
For sure.
And he had to crawl for that one. That was sacrifice the body. That's what I always say.
You know, after that half, I was unaware of. No, you know what? I just forgot that they switched sides, and so I was thinking.
Yes, they have switched
Brentwood's
directions.
about to score.
Common rule in soccer is that typically
yes.
after the half, you'll switch sides,
yes, no,
which is representative of in medieval times, and fights between dueling lords, and their knights. Whenever they felt like half their soldiers were killed, they would then switch sides on the actual field. Little known fact, but it's true.
Interesting. The more you know with Sam Dillard.
The more you know, the more you know.
I would say that that's a fairly common motif throughout most sports, actually. The switching of the sides at halftime.
Well, yes, it has a historical. It has a
basketball
historical precursor.
Indeed.
For sure, but here we are,
Brentwood
High School,
We've got a free
Channel
kick.
9. We are here on the television waves that Ronnie Adcock built, and we're coming at you.
With his blood, sweat, and tears. Free kick blocked by Stratford, number 15.
That would be young Robbie Howard.
No, number.
But his mother calls him Robert.
Number 15 on Stratford's side, not Brentwood's side. Sam.
Oh yeah.
Get
Sorry.
back into
I'm
the
looking at
swing
I'm looking at the wrong roster here. You know.
Get back into
There's
the
a little
swing
rust
of
on these
things.
wheels. You know, we just gotta knock it off and keep moving forward here. We've got a corner. Knocked out by Stratford. School Stratford, right?
Yeah, Stratford.
Never heard of him.
Yeah,
Who
it's
cares?
out of district. We're not quite sure. We weren't quite sure, but we were excited because they've been playing very well.
Looks like a good matchup.
They've given us a good matchup.
It's been mostly a defensive struggle here.
Indeed.
But we've got Stratford looking to send it down the line. But not if number 10, Mr. Sam Kumchenko, has anything to say about it. We've got Stratford sending it out of bounds. Another shout out to the boys shagging the soccer balls, keeping the game flowing. Shouts out to you, sir.
For sure, for sure.
You know, while we're here,
We got another free kick. Number 10, Sam Kumchenko, looking to send it up the middle.
But while we're in between offensive struggles here, we have another score update from March
We've got
Madness.
a breakaway from on the Stratford side.
All right,
He's running. It looks like he's not going to get it. You know, he's covered.
He
Easily
is
picked up by the
covered.
goalie.
I'm proven wrong. I just need to start saying things that I don't think will happen, and then they'll happen.
But go ahead, give us that score update for March Madness.
Purdue versus Tennessee. About 11 minutes left in the second half. It is 63-48 Purdue.
Oh, my goodness. Still a 15-point lead?
65-51 now.
That's a bracket-busting game right there.
It sure is. You know, being natives of Tennessee, we more or less had them going at least to the Elite Eight.
You know, a former intern of the program, Mr. Ryan Schumpert, noted broadcaster and noted Tennessee fan, even bigger.
Second best sports reporter in the state.
Second best reporter in the state.
Second best reporter in the state. First only to other broadcast legend Don Neiman.
You know, he offered me a fairly large wager that they would make it, you know, past the Sweet 16, and I refused it. Unfortunately, should have taken him up on that.
Indeed, maybe you should.
You would be quite a happy man right now.
Yeah,
Well,
But also, I'm not going to speak too
Stratford's
soon.
also got a happy man here, as they're going to send this one downfield, all the way to the other end.
We'll get back to your
It's headed by
current soccer
Brentwood.
game.
It's going to get picked up by Stratford. Moving in, but he's just surrounded by the boys in Brentwood blue. Looks like a
Got someone down there. Looks like a little trippage action.
yeah.
But it's you know, from this first part of the second half, it's looking like Brentwood is just struggling defensively here. I mean, they haven't really had much of an offensive push yet. We've seen a lot of offense from Stratford, though. The Spartans.
Check. Okay.
You're good.
All right, sorry, a little technical issue here. You know, it wouldn't be a broadcast without, you know, our technical crew, you know,
Lost
lagging.
Mr. Casey Crow, but he'll be back.
Hello,
shortly.
check. Or am I still here?
You're good. Yeah.
We are still here, ladies and gentlemen.
Check. I can hear, but I'm not speaking.
All right, but as I was saying, we've seen mostly a offensive game from Stratford. The Spartans are giving Brentwood quite a hard time to score. Even the Stratford goalie is not getting as much action as he was in the first half. So it's going to be interesting to see how Brentwood can string some kicks together and get a point here in this second half.
Brentwood pulling together some defensive tactics
Check.
near the goal. And
we're back.
all right,
Sorry about that,
He's
folks.
back. When he says we, he means, of course, himself.
That is, in
Yeah,
fact,
Donovan Crow.
this time phonetically, or English speaking as opposed to mathematically.
Oh wow, that's
Little
quite
callback
shamed
to
up.
the first half running joke that we had.
wow,
I
that's
wouldn't
really
call
cool.
it a
Have an
joke.
inside joke and then like exclude me from it. That's really cool of you.
No, that's okay. What are inside jokes for?
Well, it's interesting that you call it an inside joke, considering we are experience the beautiful outdoors up here on top of the press
Indeed,
box.
You're absolutely
You
right.
know, it's a cool, you know, probably around 62, 60. Actually, let's get a weather report. Let's get a weather report,
I
boys.
said it was 62 back.
Let me take a wager. What's the weather?
I'm going to go with a cool 63 degrees.
63 degrees. What do you think,
Going with a
Nathan?
cool 62.
62.
Gonna stick with my earlier bet.
We have a 65 clear skies in Brentwood,
My, oh
Tennessee,
my.
in Ronnie Adcock Stadium. You know,
It's actually James C. Parker Stadium, technically, but in our hearts, it's Ronnie Adcock Stadium.
yes,
Earlier
yes.
we saw Dr. David Movie driving on Ronnie Road.
Is that official, by the way? Is it?
No,
is it
it's
Ronnie?
not official, unfortunately.
It should be.
Damn. It's
Brentwood
darn,
has
it's unfortunate.
For those of you who don't know, this on the right side of the field from the Brentwood bleachers, there is a brand new road installed last year.
This is true.
As all Brentwood students know, traffic can be a large problem with the amount of students taking their Jeep Wrangler to and from school.
Little update on what's going on the field. Seems like we've got a little bit of an injury on the Straford side.
He seems to be walking on his own. You know, he's just stretching out his leg. Perhaps something wrong with his knee or hamstring. He'll be okay, but we're just gonna. They're probably gonna switch him in.
But thanks for bringing us on back to the game in front of us, Casey. It's very nice to be out here in this fine 65-degree weather, watching a beautiful Brentwood soccer game. And we watch as the injury is taking a timeout on the field, I believe, or something.
Yeah, it seems like
But
we've got a
we,
little bit of a lull here on the field.
Taking a little bit of a
We
breather.
now watch as Mr. Dr. Professor David Moody.
And we've got
approaches.
We've actually also got Mr. Reed McAdams, number 19 for Brentwood, about to kick this one in.
He's gonna cross it over to.
Number 7, Nassim Abu Salim. To catch you up a little bit, Sam, Mr. Nassim is the one who has scored our only goal tonight.
What a champ! What a champ!
He's,
Hold down the fort.
He's a junior, which means
You know,
he's a bit of a young gun.
I haven't had the pleasure to meet Mr. Young Nassim, but just from my eyeball and just from my first impression of him, seems like a stand-up guy and a real team player.
True team player.
You know, as the old adage goes, there is no I in team.
Indeed, there's
and there's
not.
no I in Brentwood either.
There is not.
And it's that kind of team mentality that puts us above our competitors.
Absolutely right.
This is correct. But we've got Brentwood getting a little
Getting frisky.
Getting tough and tumbly.
Getting physical. Oh, and that was a fine
Fantastic save by the Stratton goalie. Oh my goodness, went to the ground for that one.
Yep, that Mr. Stratford goalie and his little neon penny. You know, he hustled to get that save.
We must
Props to him.
apologize. We were not provided a sheet of the Stratford roster.
Brentwood's going to kick
so
it out.
We're trying to
It'll be Stratford's throw-in.
refer to them as numbers and refer to Brentwood as numbers and names, considering we do
Not
have
to
that roster.
disrespect the Stratford team.
No disrespect meant at all.
We are not throwing shade, as they say.
Not at all. We've got number 14 from Stratford. I'm going to throw this one in.
But yeah, you know, back to that near scoring potential thing for Brentwood.
We had a failed bicycle kick by number 14 for Stratford.
Unfortunately, hate to see it.
My man's been playing too much FIFA.
Too much FIFA.
Too much.
Hey, we have actually had some fairly impressive kicks here. Lots of going down to the ground, sacrificing the body, just get that leg up in the air, send it the opposite direction.
Down to the ball. They're just doing anything to try and gain the upper hand here in this tie ball game.
A little back and forth action, a little ping pong from the two respective teams here. Brentwood's looking to score, but unfortunately that ball's going to roll out of bounds. We've run through our first 10 minutes in this second half and still got tied up 1-1 score.
You know, but there's 30 minutes left on this clock, and you know, soccer is a very long-term game. It is not a sprint; it's a marathon.
Indeed, it is.
And
even though there is lots of sprinting taking place on the field.
Of course. You know, the thing about sports is you got to run.
Indeed, running is key.
That's pretty much the entire deal with sports.
Do we have a basketball update? Basketball
We do
update.
indeed. We have a March Madness update. Tennessee has held Purdue scoreless for the entirety of 11 points. They just went on an 11-0 run. It is now 63-65.
Wow!
Volunteers.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this Brentwood soccer game, with all respect to Stratford and the Brentwood boys, turn on some March Madness right now because we got a
it's
game.
second TV. Probably if you've got a phone or something like that.
You live in
turn on
Brentwood, you
both.
probably have another TV in the living room. You know, just click on the other one. You know, the big 60-inch. You know, leave this game on the 80-inch.
All right, I feel the need to
and
say
we'll watch the Brentwood
this game
soccer.
is indeed not live, so they could very well be watching it right now, and they cannot hear us at all.
All right. Oh yeah, this soccer game probably will be airing. You know, post the Tennessee-Purdue game. So
it will be. Unfortunately, it is a pre-recorded game.
So I would just like to congratulate the Purdue Boilermakers on making their way into the Elite Eight.
Wow, that's quite a bold prediction.
Yeah.
And we'll see how well those words ring true.
Shout out to future Boilermakers.
But what's about to ring here is that kick from the Brentwood goalie, ringing on down the field. Just a ring-a-ding.
We got some just high balls after high balls, just arcing through the air.
And they've been very good about keeping it interesting with the passing as far as a little tit-for-tat action.
You know, when you got the tats, the tits, it's all over the place.
And we've got Straford sending it over to the middle.
Stratford had a chance right there, but Brentwood's playing great D.
Playing great defense. And that's what we noticed. Whoa!
They take a shot. Brentwood easily saves it.
That was a missile off the Stratford, from the Stratford side into the goal. Unfortunately, intercepted by Mr. Preventure.
All right, we got it. Just fighting over right around midfield. Looks like it's probably going to get out. Oh, Brentwood actually makes it past a few of the Stratford defenders.
Brentwood on a breakaway gets stripped by number 18, I believe, from Stratford.
Stratford running it down the field.
Down the field there. And number 19, Mr. Reed McAdams, the freshman. Oh, talk about a young gun.
Indeed. You know what? Even though we've got a nice, good team here, Brentwood's always looking to build up the next generation.
Looks like we have a March Madness update.
Tennessee has gone on a 14-0 run, 65-65. Tie game.
Wow.
7 minutes left.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, sitting at home, turn your head 90 degrees to the left and look at your smaller flat screen TV and see this game going on, because wow.
Even though it's already over.
Even though it's already over, correct. Congratulations to the Boilermakers.
Once again,
looks like we're going to have Stratford turnover there. Looks like possibly another person on the field. I gotta say, this game has been rife with some contact. Couple people going down to the ground, sacrificing their bodies.
I hadn't really thought about that until you just mentioned it, but you're absolutely right.
One thing we did notice, and that I believe Brentwood is doing better on, is the first half we called on them they were being a little too timid on defense, not quite getting all up in Stratford's business. Meanwhile, Stratford, I mean, they were putting 2-3 guys on somebody if they had the ball.
Of course. Not many people think about it compared to other sports, but soccer is, to a certain extent, a physical game. And if you're not, asserting your dominance, asserting your D, then you're not going to be able to pull out the dubs consistently. And Brentwood, they've just got to learn that lesson.
We did establish this earlier, but soccer is a 10% contact game. But, I would say that both of these teams are being brave and attacking it like a 15%
Well, that's why there aren't many tracks on the outside of soccer fields.
Yeah, it looks like Nassim, number 7, he tripped on the track when he was running past, running to get the ball out. Oh, he trips again.
And we've got a tripped player there, Mr. Nelson. He does not look happy about that one. I don't know if he was looking for a call or just upset that he ended up on the ground there in general. But it looks like Brentwood's pretty good about keeping it on their end of the field here. Although hopefully I'm not speaking too soon.
Indeed. You don't want to jinx it there, Mr. Crow.
Indeed. Stratford looking to move it up. Looks like line's getting blurry out there, but unfortunately, seems like we're skirting a little close to the out-of-bounds line there.
Once again, we've just got Brentwood going tit for tat with Stratford around midfield, just going back and forth. No one really has full control of it.
That's just what we've been seeing a lot of this
Looks
game.
like they're
a big old defensive struggle.
There's some kind of foul on a Brentwood player. Looks like
he's walking it off, shaking it off.
He's walking it off. Looks like he'll stay on field, but not a very classy move by Stratford.
We've got a free kick for Brentwood here to make it up. Going to send it on down. Over to number 12, Mr. Forrest Wells. Sending it on down the middle. Header from Stratford. See, this is just another example, and to me, number 19, Mr. Reed there, he just was given a little bit too
Another
much
trip
room
from
there.
Stratford. My goodness. The boys in white have come to play today. They are playing dirty. They are going full sicko mode on these Brentwood Bruins. You know, any more aggressive, and we could have some players going out like a light.
They certainly are pushing that 10% contact more towards 15.
Oh, and the ref's just gonna snatch that one out of the air.
He never really threw it in bounds, I believe. What's gonna go on here?
Looks like we've got the number 2, Mr. Adam Bean Carey, throwing it in. First we've said that name tonight. Probably wasn't out there earlier. But it's going to be a pass over to number 12, Mr. Wells.
No, it wouldn't be surprising. Soccer is a game of substitutions.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. Great. I mean, just some more impressive footwork from Mr. Nassim. Just taking care of business. Good old TCB.
Some, what's that, Bachman Turner Overdrive, Taking Care of Business?
Indeed.
Fantastic song.
Great song.
In fact, they directly say that they are taking care of business.
Every day.
Much like this Brentwood team.
Well, they're definitely going to hope to have to take care of business in these next 23 minutes. We're about halfway over with this second half. Score's still tied up 1-1. Looking to see it, both sides looking to see a goal here, waiting for it for about the last 40 minutes of game time, cumulatively speaking.
Well, we've had about,
and obviously mathematically
4 or
speaking.
5 different, just line violations in the past couple minutes. It just keeps getting out of bounds, and they keep throwing it around midfield.
See, what I wonder, Sam, is that considering that we did talk about why unfortunately they are having to play on the football field, I just wonder if that's throwing off the mojo a little bit for some of these players.
Maybe that's why they're more aggressive, because they're, maybe the essence of, the football players in the fall is kind of soaked into the terrain and the turf, and is, kind of giving those CTE vibes into the soccer players. Just a theory, just a thought, not for nothing.
While on the subject of the football field, I would say for us announcers up here, it is rather convenient for us to be able to give measurements to this field, because while on a soccer field, there you've got midfield and
you gotta eyeball the soccer field. This is quite nice to have the 100 yards here. Although I wonder about how accurate they're able to make the width and length of the actual soccer field in comparison, comparatively.
Well,
speaking.
I remember when they constructed this new field last fall, and the workers put a lot of great care into making sure the width and the length of the field was the proper length. Length.
Yes, I just don't quite know off the top of my head what the standard, what the regulation length and width for the soccer field is as opposed to the football field.
83.2 yards.
Interesting.
Fantastic.
Don't Google that.
Oh, classic joke from the classic man, Sam Dillard.
No jokes, just facts. All facts, no print.
Back to the action on the field. It's unfortunately just been a lot more of back and forth here with the Brentwood and Straford team.
It sure has. I would go so far as to say that these teams have been evenly matched in the second half in this past 20 minutes.
It's been a quite an interesting defensive struggle. Obviously peppered in a couple good offensive plays there, but
yeah.
But I think each team has only had probably arguably one decent shot on goal.
100%. Oh,
now 2 shots for
header.
Brentwood.
Arguably 2.
As Brentwood had a chance to head it in right there. Number 23.
Brentwood, when we look back at the first half, Brentwood has actually managed to miss about 3 headers into the goal there by just barely going.
We have an NCAA March Madness update with Nathan.
There.
Oh yes, lots of headers from the Brentwood side, and it just seems as if they're cursed on those headers tonight.
Now 73-73 with 3 minutes and 38 seconds left.
Your Tennessee basketball Volunteers are in the lead? Is that what I'm hearing?
73-73. Yes.
And back to your Brentwood Bruins.
Oh, sorry. Back to the Brentwood Bruins.
We've got them kicking it out of bounds here. It's going to be over on the Brentwood side. Haven't spent a whole lot of time down here recently.
All right, we're going to see if they can string anything together. And then Casey forgot to remind me to tell my joke.
Oh,
so
my apologies.
I will be presenting that to you right about now. All right. So imagine you're tying a tie, and you're holding up the fat end of the tie and the skinny end of the tie.
Of course, of course.
You drop them. Which one reaches the bottom of its drop first?
Typically, it would be the thicker part of the tie.
You drop them.